Good day, everyone. So, my name is Jonathan David D. Dela Cruz. So, we are entering a new episode for the field study. This is episode 10 for field study 1. So, this is the instructional cycle. So, I will be presenting to you an overview and several techniques that is being practiced and several principles that are being used up to date. Okay, so number one, first, I'm going to present to you the guiding principles in selection and the use of teaching methods. Now, there is no, again, perfect teaching method. There is no perfect teaching method that we can use, but we can only use appropriate ones. Always take note that learning is an active process, just like what we have mentioned on the previous episode, that the more learners, the more senses that the learners use in their manner of learning, the more possibility that he or she will remember it. Okay, this is based on Edgar Dale's cone of experiences. Okay, and next is the more senses that are involved, the more and better the learning. Similar with active process, wherein this is when the students actually participate very much with the uh, teaching and learning. Next is non-threatening atmosphere enhances learning. Now, we are already done with the era uh, of uh, Miss Minchin, no? Yung mga terror atmospheres. But then again, there are still some strategies that are effective when you are imposing threat to learners. But it has been also proven that non-threatening atmosphere enhances more learning. Okay, because the students or the learners will not despise school. Kasi most of the times, students, especially in the younger years, develop anxiety in entering their schools or entering classrooms because they're afraid of their teachers. And since they're afraid of their teachers, they're also afraid of their learning. Okay? So as teachers, we must encourage a non-threatening environment. That's what we want. Next is emotion has the power to increase retention and learning. This is also true. If you're very happy in a certain event, you would remember that, and if you're sad in a certain event, you would also remember that. Now, I want you as teachers to impose to your students to be happy when they are learning. Okay, because when they are happy, there's a higher possibility that they would remember what they are learning. Okay. Good teaching goes beyond the recall of information. Don't get me wrong. Remembering is important. It's actually very relevant because it's the basis of higher order thinking skills. No, it's the ground base. So that's why it's very important. But then again, teaching must not end in remembering only. Teaching must go until creation, until application, until analyzation dapat, and creation and evaluation and creation. Because the information that the students could recall must be applied, must be analyzed, must be utilized. More importantly, if that knowledge that you've given them or knowledge that you've facilitated for them ay maaalala talaga ng mga estudyante. Okay, that's why it's very, very important. Next is learning is meaningful when it is connected to the student's everyday life. As I have mentioned, again, it is important that learning must be relayed to the real life applications. And also to correct misconceptions um, about what is being explained, let's say, by tradition or by culture. Say, for example, if you are in sciences, if you're teaching a concept, please relate it to something that is being experienced by the learners for them to appreciate it further. Okay? Or if you are in teaching a TLE, it is of course encouraged that you teach your students what is available in your community for livelihood practices, right? Okay. And next is an integrated approach. An integrated teaching approach is far more effective than teaching isolated bits of information. Now, integration of knowledge is very important. Making connections of knowledge between two separate knowledge or across fields of knowledge is very important. Say, for example, um, a business plan. Writing a business plan is a combination of technical writing for English, and then product marketability for TLE, and then for economics, and then product development for your TLE, say livelihood. So it is important that the students can actually relate this information. Okay? Three different subjects, but one activity could actually help them see the relationship of these three subjects. Okay? Or we can also see, let's try to visit a science topic. Say a science topic, circulatory system. Before, you'd say that the circulatory system would only be biology because it's about the heart and about the blood flow, right? But now, especially in the K to 12, the integrated sciences, it must be highlighted that the circulatory system do not only involve biology but also physics. Why? Because the heart pumps. When the heart pumps, there's pressure. High pressure pushes, low pressure pulls. High pressure pushes, low pressure pulls. And there is also chemistry. Why? There is an oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood that is being pumped in and pumped out in the heart. Okay, so that is very, very important to be noted. Wherein the circulatory system is no longer confined in biology, but it is an interdisciplinary with chemistry and physics as well. So you see, it has to be related into different fields or even across the field. Okay, for the students to be to appreciate learning further. Now, these are just some of the guiding principles in teaching methods. Now, this is again very dependent teaching in an instructional level, teaching in an instructional level, of course, you have their classroom routines, you have classroom rules, you have a routine from motivation to evaluation at the end of your session, greetings to evaluation at the end of your session, or you have a different arrangements. No, but it will always boil down on your teaching philosophy, your teaching strategy, and the nature of your subject and your topic. And when you say that you're asking for a definition, your evaluation should be about definition. About explanation, explanation dapat ang nasa evaluation mo. Do not ask for more, do not ask for less because that's what you said in the first meeting pa lang. Remember, in the previous topics, we said that establishing objective is very important in the first few meetings. Now, here are some effective reaction techniques when you are already teaching. Okay. Now, when you are already teaching, it is important that it is important that you know how to deal with your students. Here are some techniques. Number one is you can actually provide an acceptance and corrective feedbacks, not in a negative approach, but it has to be in a constructive approach when you give a corrective feedback to your students. Okay. When you actually oppose an idea from your student, you have to allow them think. You have to propose another idea wherein they can think further. Next is then giving appropriate and sincere praise. Of course, when they get the correct answer, provide a sincere praise. If you are in the elementary level, you can actually provide an extrinsic reward. Okay, like anything that you can give apart from candies because candies would destroy your teeth. Okay. And the next is repeating and expounding and explaining the answer when they answer, and then you repeat their answer. And then when you expound the answer, this actually makes them feel better, more confident with their answers. And next is rephrasing or asking follow up questions. If your students cannot understand, try to rephrase a question. Okay? If hindi pa rin, If nasagutan na nila, provide a follow-up question. Inquiry-based teaching is also very effective nowadays. This is also called as a Socratic method, used in law school, used in med school, used in teaching in education, is teacher education institutions as well. It's very effective because it allows the learners to think deeper from what they really know. And then next is redirecting questions. If you ask question, or if your students ask question to you and you want to redirect the question to their other classmates, if they have other thoughts, use it. And then of course, encouraging nonverbal behaviors. Okay, so encouraging nonverbal behaviors. Now, I it is also important that you know your plan when you are teaching. Please follow what you want to teach. Now, if you're teaching, you have plan A. Okay. If you cannot hit plan A, go to plan B, plan C, plan D. As long as the objective is attained at the end of the instruction, it's okay. But of course, we want to follow the plan A, the one in the lesson plan. Now, when you are teaching also, please take note of Jacob Kunin's patterns na dapat nating iwasan. Ang mga una-unang dapat nating iwasan, nandyan ang dangling, nandyan ang truncation, and many more. Para hindi tayo mawala sa ating discussion. Please try to check on the patterns of Jacob Kunin na dapat natin iwasan during the instructions. Now, that's a short review on instructional cycles. Should you have any questions, again, please feel free to email me or ask a question. Okay. Thank you very much and God bless po.